right now. Adam sent that money. Niggas told BRICC BABBY, hey, listen, folks, you can't use the phone no more. On the live homies, you can't use the phone no more. And that's what happened, bro. That's what happened. Well,
I don't think the truth can ever be that wrong to put out there into the world. Wack always says the truth can never be disrespected.
DJ Bandana Black and Doris Records.
Yeah, man. Bandana Black, you know, he always played local music, you know, for Buffalo, man. That was the only DJ we really had, you know what I'm saying? And he always showed love, man. He always been a fan, you know, since day one. I knew him before. I knew him before he was even Bandana Black, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like when he became, you know, on the radio, a radio DJ, man, he just always showed love, man. So, you know, definitely shout out to Bandana Black.
Yeah, Bandana Black.
DJ Bandana.
all right, so check it. We're going to get right to the content on this one. We're going to get right to the content on this one because I was actually about to eat breakfast. I was actually watching a video on YouTube. I was going to get my morning routine together watching the video on YouTube. By the way, this is what we having for breakfast, by the way. We got some bagel, everything. We got some sesame seed bagels with strawberry cream cheese and butter. We got some grapes, some cucumber slices, some mango slices, and some watermelon slices. Does a body great. But anyway, it's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about BRICC BABBY. BRICC BABBY finally smartened up. Listen, Perk Baby. I know, listen, we can't even call him Perk Baby no more. I used to call him Perk Baby. He done went in jail and sobered up. He ain't even get his drugs and shit like that. And he's making smarter decisions. Smarter decisions. BRICC BABBY has officially denounced. Why am I saying denounced? BRICC BABBY has officially stopped fucking with Adam 22 and No Jumper, which he should. Because what you guys don't understand is, you know what? Let's get to the content, then we're gonna talk about it.
Yo, but actually, I was thinking about I ain't heard from BRICK or his girl since I sent him that bread. Not a call, not a text, nothing.
Oh, you sent him some more bread?
Well, that one time when
you haven't heard from who?
When I got back from vacation, BRICK, I made the video, and then like 2 days later, I got on the phone with him, and I sent him some money. Ain't heard from him since. I'm not saying I need to be their priority when they're, you know, obviously dealing with him being in prison and everything, and the fact that he's probably not going to be able to even go to trial till October.
That's fucked up.
That being said, ain't heard from him since.
I got to call you out.
Sure.
When y'all got on that little table and y'all was sitting up there discussing that man's personal finances, that's not okay.
What table?
When y'all was at the table and y'all was talking about BRICK and his money and, oh, he called me for a loan and he already owed me this much money.
Whoa.
That was kind of like, dude,
but to
I
be
think he
fair,
was defending himself though.
I get it. No, to be fair, like if that was any of us and there's something like that going on, it's gonna get discussed. BRICK is not exempt
Every time.
But
BRICK is not
same
exempt.
way we discussing BRICK with trannies in there.
But what
exactly.
I feel like
which we don't believe, but it's possible.
I don't believe that shit. I feel my perspective is valid because it represents the sentiment of a certain demographic within your audience. There's just certain rules that I feel men should stick to. Like, we over here talking about a man, and if he's rich, like, bro, balling, okay, but bro is in a rough situation. You know, you in prison. Your family is, you know, struggling. Let's say, is he really a friend? Because y'all friends, I think.
We are.
Is he a friend to you if you get up there and like add insult to injury? Not injury you call.
I felt insulted at that point because I felt like I had my friendship tested by him basically putting a narrative out there about me that, oh, you ain't got nothing for the homie or whatever, which from my perspective was kind of messed up given that I have let you borrow a lot of money over the years. Now, is your perspective that basically when I employ somebody, if they then go to federal prison for things that have absolutely nothing to do with No Jumper, that then I must pay for all of their expenses and keep them rolling in the dough for all of time financially to be able to do so?
Well, my perspective is, since you told me this is a business, run it like a business. Who else could go to their damn boss and be like, hey, I need a loan of $10,000? No.
I agree. I am overtly nice.
Better. So what I'm telling you is you create this situation. It's like when you feed a stray cat.
So you're saying that I was wrong for giving him wrong for giving him money in the first place, but now that I've started to give him some money besides his salary, that then I also now have to give him whatever he asked for.
You were wrong for discussing it. Hold on. You were wrong for discussing it in public forum.
Well, yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Now
you created that monster.
Hey, Brendan, he made it a thing first, though. You know what I'm saying? He had brought it up like he ain't got nothing platform, so I guess he felt like he had to.
Yeah, obviously, I never would have mentioned
It's
that.
on Adam to be the bigger person. You're the boss in this situation.
He
He's
wants
the
to be a
employee.
saint.
I need to always be
I
the
don't
bigger
want
person.
you to be a saint. I want
So
you to
if
set
someone
an
puts
example.
out a narrative there about me as if I'm treating him poorly, which there was a bunch of YouTubers making videos about that already, I can't respond to that.
No, because you shouldn't, because you know why? Other people will defend you. Even people have come at me like, Adam is up there using them dudes. I was at a studio with some of Wack's homeboys, some older dudes, and they was talking trash about that, laughing at him and stuff. And they was like, Adam be doing this and doing that. And I said, no.
Mm-hmm.
Adam takes care of these dudes. I said, Adam do more for these dudes than their own homies. Some of their parents would even do or are in a position to do.
You gotta put an address. On
People will literally. Listen,
who?
no, I was in
you know.
Inglewood. I told you I was in Inglewood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got studios over there. It's nice.
Oh no. You said he more than his family and homies.
I said some people's families.
Oh yeah. No,
I'm speaking generally.
Okay.
I know my mom ain't got 10,000 to just throw me in a bind. I'm being real right now.
And then
Honestly,
Wack started the finance conversation long before he went to jail. Oh, he gave him money and
Yeah.
Wack put that out there first.
yeah,
Well,
that
I mean,
situation just. I
it
feel
was
like you don't
public on
need
all
people to
regards.
defend you, Adam.
Pretty
People will go to
much
bat for
everybody
you.
already knew about that situation where I bailed him out when he was first starting to work here and stuff. But I just am having a hard time with the logic of you should have never given him money in the first place. But then once you give him money, you're no longer allowed to. You now have to keep giving him money. But then also, if there's people, if he created a narrative in which I wasn't giving him enough money, then I'm not allowed to speak out and defend myself. Now, is it kind of ugly to like name the exact dollar amounts? Sure, maybe, just because that's kind of stuff where it's like then everybody knows, oh, BRICK had to borrow $7,000 or whatever. Like they know like the dollar amount that he didn't have at that point, which I don't know if he like actually didn't have that money, but like he needed to borrow that money. I guess that tells you something about his finances, and it's kind of ugly to talk about people's finances. That being said, if you put an attack out there, which granted it was a vague attack, but if you put out I don't think the truth can ever be that wrong to put out there into the world. Wack always says the truth can never be disrespected. That I disagree with. But I do think that as a general strategy, putting the truth out there is usually not that bad. It might not always be the best strategy, but it's also not really a bad strategy, because now the whole world knows, anybody who cares about it knows exactly how much money I gave him. And, I've been completely transparent about that. That's probably better than people not knowing. People might think, oh, he's asking Adam for $20,000 or $40,000 or something like that. Or he's asking Adam for $100 and Adam won't give him $100, which all of these numbers color the situation very differently. There's a lot of different, like if everybody was like, if everybody thought, oh, BRICK is asking for $100,000 for a lawyer and Adam won't give it to him, and I said, no, I can't give you $100,000. I think everybody out there would understand that. They'd be like, that is an egregious amount to ask for.
Even if you said, I'm not giving you $7,000 or $5,000, because everyone understands that this is his job.
Right.
This ain't like just we homies up here hanging out. That man called you. I promise you, he didn't call nobody before he called you, because he knew you were the only person who was going to be willing to give that to him.
I don't know if that's true, because number one, people like 21 Savage apparently gave him money for when he got home from the last time. He does have a lot of different connections.
I'm
all over
telling
the
you
place.
right
I know
now.
people with money.
I'm
for
telling
real.
you right now.
They didn't ask me for any money until like a month after he got arrested. So I don't think that there's any way that he wasn't also talking to other people.
Yeah,
about
because a month later,
No, for
bills
sure.
and shit are due.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, I'm telling you, you were the first and last person I do call.
But there's two
I
things.
bet my life.
But there's two variables that need to be looked at. I think the reason why he felt like entitled to that, despite the fact he's not working, is because he's seeing a bunch of his name and the way it's being monetized. He's seeing Flacco dropping a gang of content on him, making money. He's seeing No Jumper, which granted, he is a part of No Jumper, potentially capitalizing off of his name. So he's like, hey, that's why he spoke up. You feel me?
I don't like that narrative, bro. That's why that broad talking about some she paying everybody bills. What's her name?
But that's a really excessive That's over whooping like a motherfucker. But there is a little bit of truth. But then again, it's not applicable in Loose Cannon's case because Loose Cannon was never a part of No Jumper. Sure, he's made a few appearances and stuff like that, and we with Loose, but Loose has never been a No Jumper employee. BRICK sat down next to the two of us for a year and a half straight. So, you know, it's a little bit different. On top of that,
Loose can't ask me for shit. No offense. I fuck with you, Loose, but like, I don't really know you like that. You came on the podcast 3 times. I feel the same way about the Loose thing as I felt about the Famous Richard thing. Like, Famous Richard was on the podcast just as many times as Loose, and it's like, I just don't, like, I don't know you to the extent where I feel like I need to get involved and pay your legal bills.
Adam, you're an enabler.
That is probably true.
That's basically, I'm gonna just
definitely some truth to that.
We gonna sit down like real, like adults. You're a damn enabler.
And the other thing,
you enable these dudes, and then they can't get it right because they got you to back them up and rescue them, and then they call you out. And
you're
like,
generalizing it, but the truth is that nobody has ever borrowed money from me besides BRICK. Like AD never asked me to borrow money. T-Rail never asked me to borrow money. All the guys, I can't think of any of them. I mean, maybe like back in the BMX days, I let people borrow money a little bit, but you know, for the most part, I don't want people to have the idea that like just because you work here that I'm also like your lifeline if anything goes wrong. You know?
I've been down and out, and I didn't ask this dude for a cent.
Your parents are rich.
Don't matter. Like
you ain't never hitting the ground.
True, but they're not. But like, there's times where I couldn't get money from them, and it was like, you feel me? Like,
because they doing to you what he should do to these.
My
people.
Parents are
starve them out.
My parents are doing just fine. My parents are chilling.
There's a guy who owns
There's
a guy who owns a big BMX company that at a certain point told me, like, at a certain point, the dudes that are on your team or whatever will ask you to borrow some money, and you could just let them borrow money, but then that basically like clears you of having to do it in the future, you know? And so you want to limit it. You want to like try to make it so that it isn't, you know, a consistent thing that's happening. But if there's a situation in which a person's really going through something kind of disastrous and you need to let them borrow a couple grand, it's like, it's probably easier to just do it and then use that as the reason why you can't do it anymore in the future, rather than to just let that person know, like, hey, I'm just being cold-hearted to you and I'm not going to be able to help you out in this situation.
But you had already done it. Has he paid you back the money he borrowed from you before?
No. I mean, at this point, once you catch a Fed case, I really feel like, okay.
Yeah, and just like, because for full transparency, I spoke to BRICK a few days ago, man. That's a huge financial obligation that his lawyer wants from him, and it's a very, very, very expensive thing he's going through.
Why are you saying that like I'm supposed to care about that? Like you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's not the point. I have no issue with BRICK Baby. What I'm saying is,
damn, bro,
you get the guy, you're loaning him money. I just gave the perfect analogy. It's like feeding a stray cat and then complaining because it's showing up on your doorstep. The whole point is, if these guys been around this long and they haven't been able to pick up enough game for you.
Okay, so as you can hear there, BRICK Baby did what any real nigga would do in that situation, bro. BRICK Baby did what any real nigga would do in that situation. If you know you gotta cut somebody off and you facing a Rico and they got a lot of money, you borrow as much money as you can and you just cut them the fuck off, bro. That's what happened to Adam 22. And you deserve it, Adam 22. Only because at the end of the day, I understand that Wack 100 is in your ear telling you like, yo, don't pay this, don't do that. He leaning on you like, don't fuck with BRICK, don't do that. He's basically leaning on you like the rest of the people that's out there, right? I understand that. But at the end of the day, BRICK Baby, Sharp, AD, T-Real, a lot of these guys put in a lot of work, made a lot of money for you. So at the end of the day, yeah, as far as a contract, do you owe them? But you know in your heart what helped build that no jumper, that whole no jumper situation as far as the people, as far as the real ones that actually watch it. I'm not saying the real ones watching because of Perk Baby. I liked it better when ADN was on there. When ADN was on there, it was a little bit better. I mean, it was still, niggas were still on there making sure that their criminal organizations was represented properly on the internet, but the actual host wasn't doing it, bro. The actual host wasn't doing it. That's where you fucked up, Adam 22. That shit is not cool. But anyways, I think BRICK Baby is pretty smart for leaving Adam 22 and No Jumper alone, only because Loose Cannon keep calling home from jail, talking all type of stuff, probably making his case worse. BRICK Baby, I ain't gonna hold you. This really, I really was gonna say this happened in the video because I think this is what happened to BRICK Baby, but I have no proof. I think that BRICK Baby was in that cell BRICC BABBY was in that cell, the niggas leaned on him and said, yo, call Adam and get some money or that's your ass, fool. Call Adam and get some money or that's your ass, fool. BRICC BABBY got on the phone. Adam, listen, fuck Wack, I need some money right now. Adam sent that money. Niggas told BRICC BABBY, hey, listen, bro, you can't use the phone no more. On the live homies, you can't use the phone no more. And that's what happened, bro. That's what happened. Well, at least that's what I'm gonna be telling people. DJ Bandana Black, Mr. Well Connected, more respected, we out.
Warning. 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 Tonight's forecast is a total blackout.
You know what that means, baby.
It's the blackout with DJ Bandana Black.
Yeah, it's your boy Taj, man. I want to give a big shout out to my brother, my guy, DJ Bandana Black. The Blackout, Buffalo stand up. God Squad, Free Dick Wolf. Layo.
What's good, Buffalo? This your boy Uncle Murder from Brooklyn, East New York. And you already know I'm rocking with the homie DJ Bandana Black, Mr. Well Connected, even more respected, the Blackout.
This the king of Philly, Gilly the Kid, and kings only rock out with kings, so you know I'm rocking out with my man DJ Bandana Black, aka Mr. I Am Buffalo. Huh?
Hey yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Spills, and you are now tuned into the Blackout, hosted by DJ Bandana Black, Mr. Well Connected, even more respected. You already know we got love for you. Westside stand up.
DJ Bandana.